Very warm welcome. Let us talk about the query processing, especially iterators, and take a look at these discussions from here. What we do here, we need to, we have seen in our last discussion that the query processing overview, if you see you are passing an SQL query and there is a parsing of this, and this parse of this tree is generating a query, new query rewriting takes place because you're coming up with multiple relational algebra expressions, and then based on that, based on value optimization and cost plan, you come up with ultimately logical query plan which generates physical query plan based on the data statistics, because you have catalog and other things in the database, and these two together we actually call query optimization. Once you have the physical plan generation complete, then you actually go into execution, which produces the result which we ultimately see as an output from the given query. So talking about the query rewriting, we basically have three phases in query rewriting. We have an initial logical plan, and then there are rewriting rules happens because you come up with multiple relational expressions, and then based on optimization, based on understanding of the cost, especially in terms of time, then you actually develop a best logical plan which is ultimately going to be executed. Take a look at this example, query rewriting example. We see that we have a Cartesian product between two set, and then on the top of Cartesian product we are applying a condition. The selection condition is that one of the attribute of R is a particular value, and the two attributes of R and S must be same. So this is a selection condition, and finally you do projection of two attributes B and D. So the innermost operation is Cartesian product, then immediate outer operation is a selection condition, and finally projection. But what else we can write actually? One of the example here you see that what we can do, we take the Cartesian product first and then select a value, selection condition. That means there are two selection condition one after the other, and then finally projection. But there can be more expressions. So take a look at here what happens in the physical plan generation. Physical plan generation, suppose this is the best logical plan you have. What you have in this best logical plan is that you don't do Cartesian product directly between R and S, then it's going to be very big one. But rather you apply a condition, selection condition on the R, and then finally take a natural join, because you said that both the attributes should be same. So it's a natural join issue, and then finally project. So what you can do from this base logical plan, the physical plan actually is how you are going to access data and what you do in order to produce the result. What we see, index scan is a physical plan for this particular attribute, because this attribute, if it is an index attribute, then it is an index scan in on R, and then it is a table scan because you don't have any index, no selection condition. And finally, the natural join actually is a hash join and new project. So look at the best physical plan to the logical plan, the best logical plan to the physical plan generation, which is very, very important. So physical plan generation consists of actually three steps. You can see you enumerate possible physical plan, what are the possible physical plan, and find the cost of each plan, because as you know the cost depends on the statistics, how much data you have. Based on that, whether you execute or not, find the cost of each plan and pick the plan with minimal cost, because you have to always save time. So physical plan generation is also consist of three steps. Talking about the physical plan generation, you have a logical query plan and then physical plans, and then based on the cost and you pick the minimum cost. You can understand that you have one logical query plan to more than one physical plan, and for each physical plan you have cost involved. Cost is in terms of operational time, and you pick the minimum cost one, because then you get the result very fast. So plans for execution, query execution is you have a path roadmap, how path of an SQL query, then there is operator tree, physical versus logical, and plumbing. So take a look at this architecture again, because we know the architecture, modern DBMS architecture, its application, and you have a parser, optimizer, then query executor, storage manager, and ultimately there is the API call for two things. One is API call for the operating system, and another is a file system API call for the data. So logical plan versus physical plan, I'm sure you understand this part again clearly, but let me repeat again. This is the best logical plan based on which you decide on what physical plan you should have in order to get the data. So operator plumbing, what happens is operator plumbing is a concept where we have a relational algebra expression and we try to understand which one to reshuffle to plumb so that it becomes faster. For example, materialization one aspects and pipelining. In materialization, output of one operator written to the disk and next operator reads from the disk. So what happens? You are actually materializing, like you are writing, for example, after the selection condition, you have a temporary set and based on which you do actually natural join. And pipelining is, you understand, pipelining is very common because output of one operator directly feeds to the next operator. So you have two options. Operator plumbing can be done in two ways. Either it is materialization or pipelining. And take a look at materialization. Materialize here. Why? Because you can understand you are creating a temporary sets, and that's actually how the materialization looks like. And operator pipelining, you can understand that each operator you have a open, get next, and close. So you are passing each to each other. And an example of iterator of table scan, you can have actually open statement. You open the block, and then first tuple of in B block you read in the open statement, then get next because it's and then close. So what happens? You open, then you are actually reading and processing. That is a get next operation. You may not have to go directly deep into the logical understanding. It's very simple, but the understanding is that you open an operator, you get the next, and finally close. So iterator for select is look like this. This is a selection condition, you can understand. So how actually it looks like, you need to open because it's actually pipelining, you can understand. So what happens, you open first and then you go into the get next loop, get the next child until end of file. If it is not end of file, if it is end of file, return end of file, otherwise compare the condition. So it's like getting each record and testing the condition. There's the get next and finally you close. So iterator for sort operation is look like this. You actually open and read all tuples because you have to sort them. So get next, return tuple. If more tuples, then return next tuple in the order and return end of file if it is all end and finally close. So iterator for tuple nested loop join means you have actually two loops and then finally there is a natural join. A representation like this. An example of depth lift plan, you can have multiple natural join with a table scan. So the question naturally is, what is the sequence of get next calls? The get next call sequence, you can understand that in this case get next call will be starting with R1, then you have to scan R2, and then once you actually have a natural join, then scan R3 and then get into the final natural join. So it's actually recursive, it's more iterative call. You have a left deep plan. Why? Because you are starting from the left and coming back to the right. Alright, so right deep, you can similarly see that you are actually on the right, you do table scan, you actually read them and combine them in a natural join. So the get next calls you can easily understand from there. So we can see that cost measure of the physical plan, there are many cost measures: time to completion, number of input output operations, and the get next calls. Because what happens in you are accessing the disk to get the data is written in the disk, so you have lot of input output calls to get the data, and trade-off is simplicity of estimations. So query processing in the order, in the class order, you can see here, we actually talked about all this, and taking a look at the chapter 60, we already talked about it. So from this part, we can see actually we have done it relational algebra, but just to get you some understanding, why do we need query rewriting? There are two approaches. One is pruning, because there is a huge space of physical plan, eliminate redundant condition and operators. Pruning, why? Because pruning means we are actually removing some of the query operations by cutting them. So it is a pruning. Rules that will improve performance with very high probability. That's why we prune pre-process get queries in the form we know how to handle the best. And ultimately, you reduce optimization time drastically without noticeably affecting the quality, but this is the query rewriting issues. And some query writing rules is like this: transform one logical plan into another. Equivalence in relational algebra, you must find out push down predicates, do projects early, and avoid cross product. Cross product means you can understand Cartesian product is very, very expensive. So we try to avoid this. And some of the equivalence in relational algebra, you can understand this is a commutativity. That means if you take a natural join between R and S, it is equivalent to the natural join between S and R, and associativity. And also hold for the cross product, it's the same. So applying rewriting rule, you can understand this was a condition. At the beginning, we also talked about it. But what we do after this, we can apply multiple conditions and we can have further simplification. For example, you can see here x attributes and y attributes, we don't really do it. So practically, if you combine selection plus natural join, it becomes like this. And it's actually, you can understand, this is a selection condition plus natural join. And take a look at this one again. So what we do instead of this, now we have a better one. Why? Because we actually reduce the number of sets it was used. It is much lower than the Cartesian product between R and S, and we can apply this condition. Query rewriting, exactly, you see here further we reduce how we take a natural join. Instead of applying conditions, we have a natural join now. So that reduces much time, you know. So rule as combined, and we can actually combine selection plus natural join. That's what we have seen, which are good transform, we can understand easily. Conventional wisdom, do projects early. That is actually what we always say, that projection must be done early so that you have a less quantity in terms of set. So what if we have A and B both index? So intersect points to get pointer to matching tuples. It's very fine. But the bottom line is that no transformation is always good. Some cases something is good, and we try to actually improve over our understanding of the subjects. So I try to skip some of this discussion, but more query rewriting rules are like this: use depth left tree, not right dip, left dip, and subqueries like join operation using constraint, which is very, very important. With this, let us come to an end, and thank you for your patience here.